Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to get the free play or slop out of your blade on your dozers, whether it be cat or Komatsu, case, whatever. They're very similar to this. This is a 6-way dozer blade on a D51 Intelligent EXI dozer. So what you'll need for this job is you'll need a 3/4 inch ratcheting wrench. You'll need a socket set. These socket sets here are 1 3/16, and what it is you got these bolts here. Now what they do is you got this ball and socket joint that sits right here, and as this blade as it tilts and as it windrows, this ball moves, and it's a greasable ball. And on here also, this is a linkage in here. Now the 61s, and I believe the bigger ones, have this adjustments so that you can change the pitch of the angle of your blade to roll it forward or roll it back. But on this little 51, it's a fixed, and so this will wear out, and it's worn out, and it's got about 7,000 hours on it. I just did the undercarriage. Now it's time to change this to tighten everything up while it's in here. So what you'll have is this one has 4 big bolts on it. Okay, and these ones I believe are 1 and they are 1 7/16 socket size. They're a little bit bigger head on them. And so there's 4 on this bolt, on this bracket right here, to tighten this up. So what you're going to want to do is you take these ones out. So there's going to be a tab on your shims. If you can see that tab, is you remove the bolt where the tab sits, and you just hand loosen these. You want these loose enough to where you can move them with your hand. I'm not strong enough to move that with my hand, but there's 2 of them, and they're cross from each other, and you'll see these tabs. And what that allows you to do, as you can see, I can actually remove that really nicely. So you can see the hole that I removed right here, as you pull that out, is this hole here. And so an easy way to find that is wherever your tabs are, okay? So that's that one. And now the actual procedure on how to do this, what you're going to want to do is to remove all the shims. So as you have a new dozer or whatever, I've never taken any shims out of this dozer before, but as you remove the shims, you're able to hand tighten these up. Now as you hand tighten them, you want to tighten them up. You don't want to crank on it. And what you want to do is you want to measure the gap right here with all the shims removed on either side. And as you tighten that up with free hand or whatever, a little small ratchet, or as you tighten this up, you'll measure that and then count how many shims will slip in there. Back it off a little bit, put some shims in there. What that does is it brings this forward and clamps around that ball. This is a ball joint similar to this one. And so as that clamps onto that, it tightens up all the free space in here. Now, why would you want to do that? There's 2 reasons for that. Your grading will start washboarding on your dozer blade as you are going in your intelligence, as it gets wore out too much. The other thing too is it's parts. So you're trying to avoid any dirt buildup in between this and the ball hitch. As that dirt gets in here, it creates a wear surface that it sits and wears on these parts, and leads to more slop. So what I'm trying to do is keep that out, keep the grease in, and keep the dirt out by removing the shims and subtracting shims. So on this one is the same way. You're going to have 2 tabs. This one's split in half. There's a half piece here. So you're going to go 1 from the half. You can see that. So from the half, it's cut in half. There's 2 sections of this. You're going to remove the bolts where the tabs are on either side. So you go 1 bolt in and 2 bolts if it's a Komatsu. This is where it's going to be, and they'll slip out as well. So you want to do one on this side and on the other side back there, and there's one on the bottom and on the other side of the bottom back there. So same thing. So I'm going to adjust this one first, and then I'll make sure that there's no tension on this blade at all. You can do that by putting a jack up underneath your arm right here and raising it on the floor to kind of get the pressure off of that blade so that you can move. You can see my shims are starting to come out now. So what I'll do is I'll take these shims that are about a 1/2 inch or 3/8 of an inch thick of shims, and I'll count them. Now as I suck this in, I'll measure that gap and pull them shims out and put them back in hand tight, and then I suck these down. I believe that these are running at around I want to say about 450 foot torque on these bolts, and these big bolts are a little higher. They're around 800 foot torque. If you got a big cheater bar on there, that's how I was able to break all these free. Again, so that's one way. The other thing too is you can inspect all these right here. Sometimes you'll get some slop built into here. These eyelets, you want to just check everything, replace them. These pins are fairly easy to replace. You undo these bolts on top, remove this lock pin in right here, this lock washer type pin. That pin will drop right through. So you can go ahead and check all that, and that is how you would shim your dozer blade. Thanks for watching.